Hello, my name is Abdiel and I'm here with Dora and Leona. I'm here to talk about whether online platforms should regulate their content to stop online harm. The core controversy around this topic revolves whether online platforms should regulate content to stop misinformation and online harm, or whether it would limit our free speech. Governments, social media, companies, users, and advocacy groups are all involved in the debate, which gained momentum after events like the COVID-19 pandemic. The controversy around this topic is global, with governments worldwide exploring different regulations. Huge social media companies like Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok face a large amount of criticism for failing to censor harmful content on their platforms. The stakes are high because social media has become the main source of communication and information, so it's important that this topic isn't overlooked. It can influence public safety and mental health, and these platforms will only continue to grow in influence. On one side, people who believe social media shouldn't be regulated believe that they should prioritize free speech to allow people to share their opinions and information without interference. Freedom of speech is an essential human right and allows people who talk openly and freely to share their perspectives without it. Without it, society will struggle to function properly. People who uphold this opinion are libertarians, some politicians, free speech advocates, and the public. They argue that the ability to share ideas freely, even if offending someone, is fundamental to democratic societies. Some fear that government or companies could misuse their power and unfairly block content, especially in places where laws are used to stop criticism. Online platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, etc. handle billions of posts every day, making it nearly impossible to monitor and filter inappropriate content accurately. People who spread misinformation and cause harm online would adapt quickly and bypass regulations regardless, with no permanent solution. They suggest that platforms should only focus on more extreme cases of harmful content like threats, violence, or illegal activity. On the opposite side, those in favor of regulating online platforms argue that moderation is essential to limit the spread of hate speech, disinformation, and harmful content, which can lead to real-world consequences like violence, harassment, and threats. They believe that tech companies have a responsibility to protect their users from dangerous content and to ensure that their platforms are not used as tools for harm. Advocates, including human rights organizations and government, propose clear rules based on international human rights standards to ensure that regulations are fair and not overly restrictive. They also stress that without regulations, companies often prioritize profit over safety and pushing harmful content more because it raises user engagement. In my opinion, I personally think that regulating online platforms is necessary but must be balanced in order to protect our freedom of speech while addressing the issues caused by misinformation. Regulation is necessary to reduce real-world consequences of harm such as violence and harassment. The alternative, which goes against regulations, ignores all the harm it causes. Ultimately, fair balance between regulations and free speech is crucial for a positive outcome. Thank you for listening.